Hey, what's up, everyone? Before this episode starts, I wanted to give a quick heads up that Luxray's mic does get a little staticky throughout this episode, and towards the beginning of this episode, it does get pretty bad, but I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know it actually gets 20 times better later in the episode. I just wanted to go ahead and come on and say that. But yeah, please enjoy this episode.
Hey guys, it's your boy Alexa Master here, back again with another podcast. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our members, pretty much. So yeah, so our boy who started streaming, his stream has been pretty baller. No offense, Max, but miles per hour.
Hello there, it's Miles Per Hour, and I will gladly be your Solomon Solid Dragonite. Fight me.
And then we got our YouTube boxer, our boy, Banana Max.
Still searching for that gold Mega Man amiibo and female corn to complete the Smash Bros. Amiibo set.
You'll never find it.
And then we got our other boy, who's he's a funny man. Just a funny man here, Trevor Man 5.
To be a master, Pokemon master. Sup?
We singing intros now? Shoot, hold on. If you want to be a messer, Pokemon!
No, go, why?
All right, last but not least, without further ado, we got our first special guest here, the Black Wasabi.
Howdy, people. How you doing? I don't know why I just said that. That's just the first thing that came in my head. I apologize.
It's no problem, bro. So, anywho, let's get right into our first topic of, our history of Pokemon. So, pretty much, Pokemon has been an impact on my life, and it's even brought my brother, Black Wasabi, and also brought me together with my best friend Miles Per Hour here. Pokemon has brought tons of people together, and like the first game I ever played Pokemon was Leaf Green, and then I remember playing it back at the time, but I kind of stopped eventually, after a while, and then when I saw the big trailer with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, I was ecstatic. I was around 8 years old or so when I was ecstatic about it, and I was excited about it. And after I played Diamond and Pearl, and after that I went on to the newer games year after year and meeting new people who love Pokemon, and that's kind of like my experience. And I'm who wants to go next? Who wants to go next on their experiences?
I guess I'll go next. So I'm gonna keep it simple. Basically, I'm a kid. I like creatures, dinosaurs, all that crazy shit, right? Basically, what happened was I was at summer camp, right? Back when Pokemon cards were kind of like a fad, kind of during that time. Right? I saw someone playing Diamond and Pearl. I was like, "Yo, I need to get that game. What is this called?" It's like, "Oh, this is Pokemon. You don't know about Pokemon?" I didn't know about Pokemon back then. And that's how I got into the whole Pokemon cult. I first started with Fire Red, then I ended up going to Emerald, and then I eventually got to Pokemon Pearl. And I'm now a Pokemon fan now, and a part of the Pokemon cult.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Miles Per Hour.
Let's see. So, Pokemon has been one of those franchises that's been with me, all my life, as you said, as similar to you. My brothers obviously introduced it to me, and I've been hooked with the franchise ever since. I remember back in the day I used to play with a Pokemon Red cartridge with a broken battery, so I would just, restart the game over and over again, at least make it a Brock.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you said Fire Red for a quick second. Excuse me? No battery in that.
No. But like said, the first Pokemon game I properly owned that I will book on my own was Leaf Green. It's just that I have a bone to pick with that game. I never actually beat it. So one of these days I'll probably stream it or something one day. And Diamond is when I guess I truly fell in love with the series and would say I became a true Pokemon fanatic. Ever since, I've been hooked with every game in the franchise. I went back to play one game each generation. I try to be a big Pokemon encyclopedia as best as I can be. Of course, with you getting older, it just becomes a challenge more and more. I guarantee I can't name every Gen 8 Pokemon like I could name every Gen 5 or Gen 6 Pokemon. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, I feel the same way with that, bro. Honestly. But, that's... I definitely feel that, bro. Like, Charman 5, bro?
Well, okay, well, the thing is, I got into Pokemon, because my friend Garrett liked it, but the thing is, at the time, I was like, dude, Pokemon's stupid and gross. Like, that's stupid. But then I saw him play, and I'm like, that's actually interesting. So instead of buying the games, I pirated Crystal on my computer. Like, this is like 2004, so I was like 6, 7. So I was like, and I was downloading emulators and ROMs. I played Pokemon Crystal. I fell in love with it. Like it was just so nice and just fun to play. So then I eventually got Emerald and Leaf Green. I have a nice memory of just playing Leaf Green in the Safari Zone. My dad was like taking out the carpet in the family rooms and putting wood floor. And there was this one spot I could have a foldable chair. And I was playing Safari Zone trying to catch a Chansey. And like in Kangaskhan, I'm like, you better get the ball, I swear to God. And it's just like after that I got Pearl, like with my first ever DS Lite for my 10th birthday. That whole day I was acting like, oh, it's my 10th birthday, I can get my Pokemon license now. And to me, that represented my actual Pokemon license. I was just like, and I just played that game all night. And I like,
right.
And it's just, I have so many fond memories as a kid. The games were so fun, so captivating. I went from being a hater to just loving them and wanting to play them all. I had so many hours in my original Emerald copy, like 300 hours, like, and I have like 500 hours. Like in my Pearl copy, and it's just, and that save file, knock on wood, actually I backed it up, has never been like corrupted at all, and that save file, so many nostalgic, so much meaning and memories to me. I can never get rid of it, even though I've cheated the ever living hell out of that save file. I can never get rid of it. Like the Pokemon was a big part of my childhood. It actually helped me make some of my friends that I still have to this day. So like I owe it a lot to a lot of happiness and childhood memories and nostalgia.
You got that right, man. Yeah, like I said, Pokemon brought people together, and it just really makes a big impact on different people, in society. But going on to Max, I'm pretty sure he has some experience there.
yeah, I got an interesting story of how I got into Pokemon. So, I was very aware of the cartoon as a kid. I frequently watched that for a couple years, but I actually never played the games up until Pokemon Black came out. I was actually with my grandmother, who had a Blockbuster account, if anyone remembers what that is still. And I went to a Blockbuster with her. I was checking out the games, and she was like, "You know what, Mac? Well, hold on, let me do an impression of her. Let her rest in peace." "You know what, Max? I think it's time you rent a game from Blockbuster. Pick out one game, and I got it for you." So then I was like, let me look at these games. There was an option of Pokemon Platinum or Pokemon Black. I knew Pokemon Black was one of the most recent games that come out because it was around the time that Nintendo and Pokemon Company was heavily promoting that game on TV. So I was like, you know what? I want to play this one because I know this one is the most recent out of the series. And, it's interesting how far it got me. It was actually one of the first Nintendo... I know it's not really Nintendo, but you get what I'm saying. It brought me into Nintendo games. It's one of the first things I've played on a DS. And just to see how far I've gone ever since that day. I mean, doing Nintendo content now. I'm a Nintendo YouTuber. Very special moment. And, those games are very special to me, especially X and Y. X and Y are probably my favorite Pokemon games because, that I brought, like, almost over 1,000 hours into Pokemon Y and been competitive, all that. It was a very fun experience. I'm not into Pokemon as much as I used to be. I still play them. I'm just not competitive. I just play the mainline story and then I move on. But yeah, that's my story.
Going on to, like we did in other videos before, for those who are, veterans of Federation Jugcast, we're gonna go with our positives, y'all. So, what I have to say for positives is like, for the most part, if there's anything I want to say that's positive, it's definitely would have to be by the story of Pokemon. Some games like Black and White, the stories. I really enjoy the story they have for Black and White and then Black and White 2. Like, if there's any has to be any Pokemon game that has a good story, it's definitely Black and White 2, and probably Pokemon Diamond and then Pokemon X and Y that goes in third place for like that cool, awesome stories. If I'm being really honest,
it is interesting you say that because Pokemon really didn't start getting real good stories until Gen 5, to be completely honest. Like, Gen 1 and 2 story-wise are kind of just, they're there. Pokemon's a new concept, so you might as well just get something in there. Gen 3, which, it's funny, with those games, and we'll get to there later. Then in Gen 4, you kind of see them, getting into proper storytelling. Yeah. But Gen 5, like I said, is when they wanted to actually do real storytelling, and I kind of wish that Game Freak, still kept on to that.
Yeah, because it was interesting how they basically took on PETA. They fun of PETA with Team Plasma. It's abusive to make Pokemon fight. You should release them because, like PETA, Team Plasma are hypocrites using their own Pokemon to fight. So.
But for the most part, I'd say stories have been getting good. I know the stories kind of been getting a bit bland, after Gen 6. I would say the stories is kind of like going out of left field. I guess. I mean, it's cool to be different, but it's just there's a kind of a point to where it becomes a bit much. But I'm gonna go get someone else the mic here.
When it comes to positives, so in a sense, I do agree. Well, it's world building that I really like with Pokemon, and I guess not necessarily the plot, but just the little things. Really, like something that I appreciate about Pokemon is obviously the Pokemon themselves and how the world revolves around these creatures, and how creative everything gets with, okay, how do people work with these things? How do people, let's see, are these stories or are these actually true? Which in Pokemon, everything in Pokemon's true.
Pokedex entries?
I like how, yes. I like how sometimes there are things that allude to things that'll happen in future games, like in the Gen 3 Pokedex, where they state that Executor was really tall back in his native land.
Oh, yeah.
Go to Alola, oh look at that, Executor's really tall.
What about you, Black Wasabi?
I'm gonna be honest, I'll pretty much answer like what I was gonna say. Like, I like how the lore has gotten better throughout the games. It got rid of mediocre crime syndicates in Pokemon to
Team Galactic
Thanos level villains trying to freaking take over the world and crap.
Don't be dissing Team Galactic like that.
Also improved on some of the Pokemon designs. I say I like when they make Pokemon based off of different yokai from Japan. And different mythical creatures in different countries. I always like that.
What about you, Trevor man?
Well, I think it's kind of, I'm gonna go off what Miles said too, but it's the fact that they build off the formula. It's not like Call of Duty every year or Madden every year, where it's the same shit every fucking year, just little differences here and there. Pokemon actually build off the formula. It makes it different enough to where it is a different experience, with the different story, the different Pokemon and stuff like that. Call of Duty, it's a different story, but most people go to the multiplayer. Multiplayer is the fucking same. It's always been the fucking same. Just little changes here and there. But Pokemon's surface level, it seems the same. But when you dig deep into it with the lore and all that shit too, it's just interesting. The world building, the Pokemon designs, what can they make a new Pokemon out of, the gym leaders, how they improve the battle system, like the catching mechanics. Like, not a lot of people remember this, even when the Virtual Console version came out, but in Gen 1, some Pokemon like Ditto, the legendaries, you could miss the Pokeball. The Pokeball can miss when you threw it at them. Like, you had to put them to sleep or paralyze them to actually be able to try and catch them. But after that, in Gen 2, they're like, nah, we're gonna forget about that. That was annoying. Like, it's always the major improvements trying to make the formula better. Like, it's like I don't get tired out of it. Like, kind of like how I do with Pokemon Mystery Dungeons. Because to me, Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, like, it's the same fucking shit, but like every game's not different enough for me to really get into it. But with the main series game, it's different enough. We're like, oh yeah, I want to explore this entirely new region, you know, and see the entirely different new Pokemon, make an entirely different team, have an entirely different experience that like that I didn't have in the other games, like, but with the same basis. And it's just amazing that how they can do this so many times to still make it interesting enough to not be bored. Like, it's just wonderful. Wonderful. Also, the shiny Pokemon is just wonderful. I love that.
Yeah,
that's always positive.
Yeah, definitely, because it creates for another challenge for you, basically.
Exactly. After I beat it, it's like, can I like go on a shiny hunt? I'll shiny hunt. Let's see if I can get this shiny Pokemon and stuff too. It adds another level of engagement to the game. That, like, I'm done. I've done everything. Let's try to find a shiny. Because for some people, they go their entire lives, their Pokemon careers without ever finding one. I found multiple on accident. So I love shinies.
We'll have all the luck.
Yeah, also
So,
I have
right.
shinies on my fucking
Hey,
YouTube
at
channel.
least
like,
you didn't
television.
like turn off your game because you felt like there was a color glitch. in the
Oh,
game.
God,
That's
no,
what I
I-
did.
Or did that, thank God. Thank
Wait,
God.
why is my Latios a different color? Oh, it's sick.
I was like, why is my
Kill it.
Zubat? I mean, why is my Zubat green? I
Why
just
the
turned
fuck
off.
is
Then I
Metapod
realized.
red?
Yeah.
Bro, it's
It's-
probably a glitch. I gotta pull it out and shit.
It's funny we're
Right,
talking
no.
about this. I got a shiny Totodile, and I didn't even realize it
God.
as my starter for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I was like,
Oh,
oh wow, this is a different color Totodile. This is interesting. I was like, oh, this must be like one. It's just at the time I didn't know much about Pokemon at the time, but I always knew this whole missing no thing was a thing, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I got the missing no Totodile.
My
Right.
God. Fuck, my favorite shine I got though, which is on my YouTube channel, is Shiny Celebi. I freaked the ever living fuck out, and my parents yelled at me for being too loud. But I'm like, I don't care. I got Celebi. It took like a year of on and off hunting, but I got it.
But now shifting gears here over to our neutral, basically, you know, stuff that's just like, it's not bad, but it's not good. So it's like an okay level. So if there's any, now I'm gonna let someone else take the floor with this one because I could already forgot mine, but I'll probably come back to Joe Black with that. Who wants to go? Who wants to go?
Neutral.
I can go first.
All right, Trevor.
But one thing I definitely think that is like, it's like that they could definitely improve on is, well, it's actually it's one minor thing and one big thing. The minor thing is taking the shiny locks off of starters and legendaries. But like my big neutral thing is the lack of the national dex. It's like I'm not like, oh, if you're a Nat Dexter, you're a piece of shit. No, I don't care. Like if you want national dex back, like I'm not gonna hate on you for it. Like I'm really not. I'm not that person. Like I understand why you want it back. For me, it's a neutral thing because I don't care if it's gone. Because it's like to me it's not a big deal because all my Pokemon are Pokemon Home, which yeah I know you got to pay $50 every yearly for, but like it's $15 like be happy and it's yearly too. But like also it's just like I don't even use every single Pokemon ever, and like neither did everyone else. And like if your favorite got cut, I am sorry. I really am genuinely sorry. I'm not trying to seem like a dick, but also it's just like you have so many other more Pokemon. I promise you, you'll find a new favorite too. But like, I understand, like, yeah, your favorite not being in there. Like, if Charizard wasn't in there, like, that is my favorite. I would be upset, but I would also not let it get over it too. But that is me. But I don't see it as a big deal as like it was blown up to be, because it was blown up to be a huge deal. People were getting arguments. People were like cutting people off. It was so dramatic. And I'm like,
I don't see that actually not think about it.
it's like and I'm just like, guys. It's not the biggest deal, I promise you. Now, their excuse for it was a big deal because they basically fucking lied. Like that
Yeah.
was a no-go. But the actual thing to me personally is neutral. Like I can go on without a national dex. Not because like I don't need every single Pokemon in the game. And second of all, it makes completing the Pokedex so much fucking easier.
I understand that, but like I feel like for me, like I can understand people not completing the Pokedex entirely, but like I feel like it'd be much fair if like they had like brought back all the Pokemon back, so that way no one has any issues with having a Pokemon missing out.
Yeah, I understand that too, which is why I don't attack people for wanting the national dex back.
Yeah, the
Unless-
fact that people are doing that is just, I don't know, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But, like that was my big neutral thing. Like another minor one is DLC. Like I know it's 3, but like 2 minor ones I forgot. DLC is another neutral thing. Because like I'd rather pay for DLC than a third game. I'm sorry, because the third game
it's more efficient.
It's more
Yeah.
efficient, and like it's not $60 unless you're getting for both games, which I understand is a lot. But like, third games are usually not even mostly different to begin with. Like most of them are just kind of retooled director's cuts with little differences here and there. Like but they're not really worth a full asking price for a third game or sequel games unless they're actually going to do like a Black 2 White 2, which would then be worth it. But DLC is definitely, I like it more than a third game. The DLC to me is so much better than them just tweaking the base game a little bit to make it charging at a full 60.
But now, miles per hour. What is your neutral experience? Neutral
See,
thoughts?
so this is kind of a more recent occurrence, and this is actually the best part to put in neutral. It's the gimmick that any of the gimmicks that Game Freak wants to put in new Pokemon games, whether it be Megas, Z moves, or Dynamax. Because on one hand, they are a cool addition that adds 2 battles, and we get cool new designs when it comes to Megas and Gigantamax Pokemon. But on the other hand, it definitely seems unneeded, because I feel like Pokemon, both competitively and just in a general sense, can't survive without some kind of battle gimmick. And I think Dynamax is the one that proved it to me, because what they were trying to do was combine both Megas and Z moves into one, just make it as coherent as they possibly can. But with that being said, I feel like that's just a lot of unneeded things to just, put more Pokemon in. Because it's still Pokemon, it's still gonna sell well, and there are other ways to keep competitive, relevant. I don't think there's any other thing that we need, but if it's there, I hope that the gimmick is at least done well. Just Dynamax is a strange one.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Like it's yeah. I'll be honest. I didn't really like Dynamax at first. Like it's just like they're just growing Pokemon just get bigger. Like so what? Gigantamax was at least interesting. It was at least more interesting than that. If I'm being really honest, because like it just looked a little bit more interesting. Because like Pokemon changed their form as Megas does basically. Yeah, that's just me. But like.
And one problem with Z moves is the fact that they're just too long. Straight up, people getting copyright claimed for a Z move.
Speaking of negatives, going on to our next topic is the negatives. And there's a lot of negatives.
Yeah, I agree. I got a lot of negatives too.
There's a lot of negatives, but like probably just gonna try not to be too much on it, because I know there's like only like 5 of us here.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one actually. I think I could.
All right, Black Wasabi.
All right. No one doesn't really talk about this, but I kind of want to talk about like the rivals. Like I'm getting sick of them like deciding to like put like too many rivals in there. Like they could have just left out like 1 rival per game and leave it at that. Why does it gotta be like 3, 4, all that shit?
I say 2 rivals is a good number.
I don't know. I feel that's too much, because like when I see like 2 rivals in like a game, it kind of like it kind of makes like the other rival like less interesting, because of the drift. Like you're so focused on this journey, you're not gonna care about like what the other 2 rivals are doing. You just try to do your own thing at that point. That's what I was saying about them. Like the reason why I don't think there needs to be like more than like one rival is because like when they add like multiple rivals, it kind of like makes their character like one side, and they're not really as interesting as they could have been. Like it just like destroys their potential, in my opinion.
I respect that.
That's
I
They should
guess
just
for
work on
me,
rivals more.
when we're talking rivals, at least, like, I think the two rivals thing is interesting because one, it gives the player a way to look at the other Pokemon that they might have not chosen. Granted, Black and White has 3 rivals you count as rival. I know some people do, some people don't. But like Charon and Bianca, let's just use those two for this example. Like Bianca gives you a chance to at least see what Pokemon that you didn't choose, the one that it's weak against your starter. It gives you a chance to see what it's all about. And like 9 times out of 10, that rival is the quote unquote nicer one. Granted, there's a whole thing about how there aren't many jerk rivals anymore. But Dave's been our most recent one because Gladion really isn't much of a jerk. He's just really edgy.
Pretty much.
But like, it also gives variety, and like, you could kind of say like one guy antagonized you, while the other person you could see as your friend all these years. Because can you imagine being friends with someone like your first rival? No, I hate that dude. I want to slap him in the face. So the nicer rival, at least, you could say, hey, that is your friend, and we are on this adventure, and we are at least trying to nudge each other to do something good. As for that jerk rival, it gives you someone to antagonize and make you feel better about beating, etc., etc.
Right. You know, I could agree with that because like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people hate that there's so many friendly
I can see
rivals.
where you're coming from, yeah.
Yeah, people used to talk about how friendly rivals were like the worst thing ever. I don't think it. The thing is about rivals is just like as long as they are trying to one up you, trying to beat you, that's the point of a rival. They don't have to be a jerk. They don't have to be friendly. It doesn't really matter. But like, you know, I used to get know people like be asked for jerk rivals. It doesn't really matter as long as they.
Jerk rivals are right. They can like motivate you to like do more better in the game and stuff. But like then you get jerk rivals like B, where you kind of just feel bad for kicking his butt multiple times in a row. Like this man has full sidekick team. I'm just like, dude, bye.
My negatives. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Like, I look now. The thing about Pokemon is like I enjoyed the online for X and Y, but when it got to like X and Y was good. I mean, Sapphire was good because it was the same shit. But when it got to freaking Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon was horrible. It was horrible. The line was terrible. It was almost impossible trying to like find your friends you wouldn't want to trade and battle.
Yeah, it was hard to navigate from A to B online.
That fucking plaza, whatever, I hated it.
It was the worst thing in the world, bro. Well,
actually I got nothing to say about that. Like one thing I hate about it's like Pokemon sometimes is like when they add like a new gimmick, sometimes it feels so forced. And you can't do anything about it. Like that plaza is like a prime example of crap I can't stand. When like it's just annoying when you have to like when the game forces you to do a gimmick, you don't want to do it, but like it's like nope, you gotta do it. We put it right there. Yeah. It's like how they like force tutorials on you on like Gen 7. Like literally, the beginning part of like the game is just all like tutorials. There's just aggravating trying to get through.
Yeah, it's just like it got horrible in Gen 7, and then oh my god, Sword and Shields. Oh my god, that is hell on earth, bro. That shit.
Sword and Shields a lot better compared to like Gen 7's Plaza.
I think.
Oh no.
The stupid password thing. They're like.
Yeah, password I will agree is annoying.
Okay, fine.
The password thing is so. Sorry, you brought up the passwords. I've had such a trouble time with Sword and Shield trying to do multi-battle with my friends, and we use the exact same codes, and they don't work. I really miss Gen 6's system with how they managed to do friend battles, all that stuff. Not this awful code system.
Because you just go, because it's so simple.
Yeah.
Your friends on your friends list. Tap on them, you battle them, and you do that.
Like this is unnecessarily difficult. Why is it like this?
about like online, I hate how like in Gen 8, like the battles are like timed, and what's stupid is when you do like a like one of those Gigantamax moves, it still takes up time on those battles, so you end up like getting tied most of the time if you like doing Gigantamax in your battles. I mean Dynamax battles. It's just silly.
Yeah. I can understand that. Jesus, it's just yeah, it's just yeah. Fucking online. Fuck the online in this game. But yeah. So Trevor, what about your negatives?
All of Gen 8. like, I'm sorry. I still like Gen 8. I went from loving it to, I can play it once, maybe not again. Cause like, Gen 8 encapsulate a lot of what's wrong with Pokemon 2. The mindset of, trying to compete with mobile games, which is one thing that plagued Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire of that development was we got to make sure that it can be played in like short bursts to keep kids' attention. I'm like, no, just make a good game, first of all, and like the second of all, it was just, oh my god, like it was somewhat the graphics too. Like Pokemon doesn't have great graphics, I get that, but like the N64 tree, the more you think about it, it's like, yeah, they could have done fucking better. I'm not gonna lie. They could have done better. And it's just, and again, like the wild area and how they made it seem like it was so revolutionary to have a free camera. Like we haven't been doing that since the fucking 90s. Like, oh my god, are you serious?
They don't need that.
I mean, like you should really have a difficulty mode. You should have like a beginner mode, a casual play mode, or a veteran mode. A veteran mode.
The only time that's ever happened was
Black
in
2 and White 2.
Black 2 and White 2, but you had to beat the games to do it.
And you had to have both games, like to get passwords from both games, and for the Reggies too. Like,
that was ridiculous.
And like just fucking, oh my god, like Gigantamaxing is cool and all, but also it's like kind of like you said with the online battling, like how it takes up time is stupid. Like Gen 8 does get some things right, but also gets some seriously stupid things wrong.
I want to add on to like what you were saying about like the mobile. I think that's kind of silly. Like, why are they like trying to like make it like similar kind of like a mobile game? Like, you don't see any other games doing that.
Exactly. Like Pokemon, you're the biggest franchise ever. You shouldn't have to try to keep competing with mobile games when you're the biggest like money making IP ever. Like people buy Nintendo systems for your game specifically. You're fine. Like, oh my god. Like usually Pokemon games are like in the top best selling of like the mainline series are like in the top best selling of their systems. Even if they're not the top, they're in like the top 5.
So this is something I've thought about for a little bit, was the fact that Pokemon is a strange series when it comes to sequels. What I mean by that is that there's this thing with the Pokemon franchise where they like to keep certain features for one game and not use them for another gen. And other ones you do. Like, for example, let's say the Battle Revolution. Yes, that was brought into Gen 4, but we never got it for Gen 5.
Battle Frontier?
What did I say?
You said Battle Revolution. That's
I said Battle Revolution. I'm
like, do you mean Battle Frontier?
Yeah.
Triggered me
a game with better animations than Sword and Shield anyway. That being said, following Pokemon not being brought back for Gen 5, even though there is data for that, and data for following Pokemon in Gen 7 also. What else? Pokemon Contest not being brought back to Gen 5. I know it's not everyone's favorite mode, but like Pokemon seems to have this thing where they want to keep things region exclusive, quote unquote. But in turn, it kind of makes things kind of worse. Like, for example, what Luxury Master said about the online mode. The reason why they wanted to have the plaza is because it's an Alola thing. But not realizing that it shoots the quality right in the foot for the online mode right there.
Yeah.
The same goes for a lot of things, really. Like, a lot of the missing features in Gen 8. Oh, man.
Oh, God, no.
And you know what? There's also the fact that I love the ideas of the trials in Gen 7. I'm like one of the few people who actually
I love that too. That's one of my favorite parts of Gen 7.
Yeah, trials are cool.
The super training is something I was a major fan of in the Gen 6 games, and I wasn't big into the competitive scene when it came to Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, but didn't they have super training also in there?
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yeah,
Okay.
they did.
So, I was a big competitive Pokemon guy in that generation, at least in Pokemon X and Y at least. When I was playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, I I don't still know how to do IV and EV training still into Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I really like Super Training because I felt like it wasn't as time consuming like all the other Pokemon games could be with EV and IV training. It still took a lot of time if you wanted to get like the right nature, the right IVs, and training it completely with how you wanted it. That was one of the features that I kind of miss in these Pokemon games because I feel like I would be playing Pokemon Sword and Shield more if that was in there. I just, it's a feature I really miss. And that might be a little bit of a weird criticism, but that's something that was very, very, very fun to me because I trained like hundreds and hundreds of Pokemon throughout the Super Training. And this actually brings up to my next negative of the upcoming, or the recent Pokemon game at least. Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Home. I have a lot of Pokemon in X and Y, like I just mentioned through Super Training. I wanted to bring those into Pokemon Sword. I noticed that you have to have a Pokemon Bank subscription and a Pokemon Home subscription to bring anything in those games over. I feel like that is very stupid, especially, like, I can understand if you need two apps, but if you have to pay for both of those to get those Pokemon into the other game, because the whole idea of Pokemon Bank was supposed to be that this would be used for future games. I realize now that Pokemon's got a new home, it's kind of difficult to do all that, but I feel like you should be able to use Pokemon Home and get, like, I don't know, maybe a cheaper price at least of Pokemon, or at least if you're a Pokemon Bank member, get Pokemon Home a little bit cheaper, because I was looking at the prices. I know there's like a 1 month subscription, but with Pokemon Bank, it was $5 a year. I was looking at the yearly rate of Pokemon Home, that's $20 a year. And
15.
Oh, it's 15. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 15.
Okay, $15, so $20 in total if I wanted to do both 1 years.
Yeah.
I was a little bit frustrated with that since you have to pay for 2 services to get your own Pokemon into Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like I do know that like at least in the beginning, I don't know if they're still doing this, but like in the beginning, like when you did like get Pokemon Home, like I think you purchased it like the subscription, they gave you like a free like week or free couple months of Pokemon Bank to kind of get everything over though for the first time, you know?
Ooh.
So like you don't have to pay for it immediately, yeah. Because I know that's what they did with me, because I already had my paid subscription, but then they were like, oh yeah, we're also giving you a free trial of Pokemon Bank for a couple of months, I think, to like get everything over. So like initially, so after that, if you still want to use Pokemon Bank, you still have to pay for it. So, but like, yeah, they definitely did that. So I know that. So like, I don't know if they still do it, but I know they did it in the beginning.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you are right, but I've recently played more Pokemon Sword and Shield, so I was trying to do it now. I just feel like that's kind of like, I feel like it's a little bit unnecessary. They should be able to work out something where you can still get those old Pokemon without having to use Pokemon Bank at its fullest. That way you don't have to pay for 2 services, if that makes sense.
I think for the most part we kind of basically got through like all the negatives. Now I know in videos like this we usually have like what they could do better. So pretty much just like what's the biggest things that they can do better that can help them in the future.
Oh, I definitely got mine straight off the back, straight off the dome.
Yeah, all right, lay it on, Trev.
More development time. Like don't do a yearly release. I don't care if you have 2 teams. Don't do a yearly release, because Pokemon's already turning into games like Call of Duty or like Madden stuff, where like it's not innovating enough, or it's not making it like different. Like it's not making it different enough, and it's gonna cause burnout. They needed to do what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed, and take some time off, start to have more development time on the games, because they'll be less glitchy, but also like you'll be able to like innovate more, add more better ideas, just make the games more unique and less blending, because they're starting to blend to that point where like it is the same thing over and over again, and it's not fun. And that's one of the reasons that Gen 8 got fucking killed, was because of that development time. Because Game Freak didn't really have enough time to learn the hardware and try to use the best out of it that they could. So we got Gen 8, we got Sword and Shield. So it's like, please take more time to make the mainline game, which is one reason again why I like the DLC. Because DLC is like, you've got a separate team working on it and not like a third game, so it gives the main team more time to work on the next actual game, while another team probably works on like the remakes, like the Gen 4 remakes or a Let's Go game, you know, something that's not mainline, not too important, but still good. Well, the main team works on what really fucking matters.
Right. I think that's a good point you made right there, because I think that's what they should work on. Because like, according to one PokeTuber I know, Pokemark, shout out to you, my guy. But yeah, that's the exact same thing he said. He mentioned in this video, basically. Actually, now that you think of, now that you mention it, but like, yeah, I think that definitely works too. Especially just because yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, my what I think they should do that help be better. I would definitely hit the same thing like that Trevor says as well, because I think it would help. I think it would definitely help, and especially getting people who are familiar with this stuff, who are like, when they work with the games like this, it's like it's familiar to them. They know it. They understand it. Big thing I think they should work on is that online infrastructure. I'm not letting that go, y'all. They gotta work on the online infrastructure. They gotta try to make it more simple. They gotta make it simple. I'm sorry. They gotta make it simple so that
They should. Matter of fact, they could just like bring back like the battle system and some Gen 6.
like the PSS rules. Play
Yeah,
certain
the PSS,
yeah, player search system. Something like they should bring something up like that, and like do something like that basically. So they would need to do that, so that way there's no problem with that, if that makes sense. Because like if they continue to do this with online infrastructure, it's just gonna make shit more harder and more difficult for players to find friends, to play, and trade. I'm gonna pass it off to Max.
It's what I talked about in the negatives. I would really like to see the super training come back. I feel like I would definitely be more back into Pokemon if that was in there, because
They do have it in Gen 8, but like it's only just like text, unfortunately.
yeah. And then that's about it for me, at least.
Okay. Miles per hour.
I don't think I have anything else here.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, I figured you probably were gonna say something that we already mentioned. But yeah. So Black was top.
Well, I definitely agree with you. Like they need more development time. I think what I want to see them do more is like focus more on creating focus more on like the lore, focus more on they like more creative ideas. Don't be freaking like thinking about like only about money. Like you gotta throw some fan service in there. Like right now at this point, they need to just work on like apologize to the fans about like the messages made.
Yeah,
that's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
like, I would be
honest.
Actually, like if they're gonna make a new Pokemon game, I don't know if I want you to buy it. Like they need to like apologize to me or like any other people that were pissed off with this game.
I think yeah, do something more like do something as an apology in a way, basically. But like, yeah, and and actually they made I think they made a note. I think they made a note to the fans.
Yeah, but
and they basically
just
like a fuck you to the fans, basically.
Yeah, they did, but like, didn't these people? I'm not trying to tell like they name it, but there's people that made a whole hashtag called Sankey Game Freak, and I think at that point, no one's not people like Game Freak. They're not gonna like acknowledge it as like an issue. They're just gonna continue making crappy games, and eventually gonna go the same route that EA did.
Especially for the fact that Sword and Shield is the best-selling Pokemon games in a long time.
Oh
And
yeah,
I know
third
some people
best.
Third best.
Going overboard
Right.
saying that, but like it's the truth. It's gonna end up like EA eventually. They keep on going this money grabbing route.
That kind of apology they mentioned before, it was not what the fans wanted to hear. But I'm sure once, it
was more of like they were upset that they got caught lacking, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm pretty sure they'll learn from their mistakes. I'm pretty sure they'll.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but like, it's gonna bite them in the ass if they don't learn from their. But I'm gonna wrap this up because and I just want to let y'all know in the audience, thank you all for watching our podcast. Definitely like, subscribe, comment what you think of this video. Definitely give if you have any criticisms, definitely let us know because we want to help improve, the channel and all that. Definitely follow Miles Per Hour on his social media, Trevor, Battle Max, and of course the Black Wasabi, my brother.
Yep.
He has streams every
Stevie,
Thursday.
Black Wasabi. I stream Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Sometimes I stream on Saturdays, but that's if I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely follow my brother's streams because he just got captured card the other day, so he's doing other games as well. So definitely tune in for that. I'll be in some of his streams, and some of our other people will be there. So yeah. Anything y'all want to say to our audience before we wrap up?
I just want to say like guys, like our criticisms of Pokemon, like we're not hating on it just to hate on it to be like Pokemon sucks now and shit, like it's terrible. Like we criticize because we want to see them improve. Like I said before,
Yeah.
my criticisms, like we're not doing it just to blatantly hate on Pokemon, like it's a fucking roast fest. Like no, we're all big fans that just want to see it improve and be better and not go down the rabbit hole and become a property that's treated like something EA or Activision would treat. Like we want to see it just be better is all.
Yeah.
That's really
Right. Mm-hmm.
Never settle for less. Settle for more.
exactly.
Exactly.
Definitely. And that is the truth. That is peace there. Now, Max, is there anything you wanna imply? For your...
No, I think Trevor said it well. That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say, but Trevor said it very well.
Yeah, Trevor definitely ended it out good on this. But yeah, we'll definitely in the future we'll be having a two-part thing for our review of Sword and Shield. Like mostly it'll go more in depth in like the base game and then DLC. I know people might be like, oh, well, why are you making those videos? Well, it's to kind of more go into in depth because we kind of basically went through other stuff too of Pokemon history in general. This is like a retrospective of Pokemon going into that at every game in general, not just only Sword and Shield. So we'll have videos like that coming out in the future to where we'll be going in depth with the base game of Sword and Shield and the DLC. So look forward to that in the future. All right, guys. Y'all have amazing, day, night, wherever you are in your time zone. But your boy Luxon Master is out. Peace. See y'all in the next podcast.